Hello lovely people. So today I thought it could be fun to do a video that contains a lot of different things. I have the new-ish Impulsive palette by Melt. So it arrived in this gorgeous sort of a gold packaging. It's sort of a collaboration between the two members of Melt. So each side of the eyeshadow palette is meant to represent one of the founding members. So I thought what I could do is do a video that is essentially 3 looks using this one eyeshadow palette. So it has all of the little plasticky inserts. We'll take those out. But that's the eyeshadow palette there. So my thoughts is that I'll do one look using this side and one look using this side, and then another look kind of integrating the two together. And then following on from that, then I was thinking that what I will do is give a general review and some swatches. So let's just head right into it. I'm going to take an E25 blending brush and just take the colour 2012, so that's that nice yellow. I'm going to try and make sure that I am not blocking your view, but I cannot see what I'm doing, so excuse me if that's the case. Hair is everywhere. Yeah, I'm very clumsy today. So I'm just applying it here. Yeah, I just thought it'd be a fun thing to do to see if I could do 3 different eyeshadow looks with these particular colours. Oh, this is applying really nicely. I like a nice yellow. It's still summer, even though it's raining outside. So I'm like, yeah, I'm willing to embrace anything that's still a little bit summery. I think now I'm going to use the shade Game Changer, which is that really nice green here. I used this one here first, just FYI. I'm going in with the same brush, but I just kind of swished it through the Vera Moda, so it should be okay-ish. These are coming out to be like the Donegal colours, which I did not mean, but they are nice colours together, so we will let it be. Just gonna pat that on. So straight away, the pigmentation is really good. It's what I would expect off of Melt. So I'm happy with that. I like the way that's coming out. I think that looks really cute. I'm not going for anything like majorly spectacular. Yeah, I think that looks nice. Again, I'm very aware that when I put my eyes like that, it looks a bit manic, but whatever, it's fine. So I'm going to get a different brush now. What will I take? The Precision Firm Blending. I think that's what I'll use. It's the E42. Just give it a quick swirl. What do I want to do this time? There is a nice sort of a burgundy colour there called Boss Lady. I think I'll go in with that. That looks... I don't think it'll go with it at all, but like, I mean, let's just play with it and see how it all goes. I'm just kind of gently putting it on in the kind of outer corner, because I don't want to have too much. And I'm bringing it down under the lash line. Yeah, the pigment is good so far. Like, I'm happy with that. There's a bit of fallout, but that's okay, because I can just kind of take a fluffy brush and get rid of that. Nothing major. I thought it was going to be a more burgundy colour, but it's coming off as more of a brown. So it's not quite true to pan. But I mean, it's fine. It's fine. Yeah, it's definitely turning out more brown. Although on the monitor it kind of looks purpley, which I'm fine with. But in reality, it looks way more brown. I do like that though. I think that's pretty. Almost done. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take... You can see how blind I am because I'm just like, ugh. I'm going to take this flat definer. It's an E15. It's the only one that has like a copper handle of the Sigma that I have. So I'm going to take this dark green called Profesh. I'm going to kind of put it along the lash line. I was going to call it tight line, and I was like, no, that's what you call it when you're... Anyways, words aren't working today, it's hard. There we go. So I'm just going to drag that along. That isn't quite as pigmented. Let's see. I live for a nice green though. I'm really into greens. If you can't tell from all of my videos so far. Yeah, okay, I'm happy with that. And now for the other eye. Great, so that is that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get another brush. Which one? No, not the pencil. I want... Which one's this? Another E25. Like I said, I have doubles of these just because I love them and I end up using them. So I'm going to take the dark green and kind of blend it out into the lighter green. Even though, frankly, I think there isn't much of a difference between the two of them when it's on the eye, which is a bit sad. Yeah, I think that looks okay. That'll do. Again, the picture is always a little bit grainy and it doesn't give a general idea. So I'm going to take the E30 pencil brush and I'm going to go for the shade, what's it called? Rule Breaker. It's this nice orange and I'm going to put it on the lower lash line because, you know, why not? Oh, that is pigmented. That's nice. I'm happy with that one. That's a really good colour. And it's blending nicely down with the kind of brown, even though it looks burgundy in the pan. Yeah, that's pretty. And then I might just take a little bit of the yellow, the 2012, and just pop it in to the corner of the eye. I think that looks nice. I'm sure you're probably like, no, Teresa, it's terrible. And I'm like, well, I'm the one who's wearing it, so, you know, I just have to keep myself happy. So, I think that is it. Yeah, I'm okay with that. I'm gonna clean up under here and put on some lashes, but I will come back once I've all that done. See you in a bit. Hi guys, I'm back. So I did the rest of this, lips, bronzer, blusher, highlighter, put on some lashes. I think it looks quite nice. I was happy with the blend, I was happy with the pigmentation. So it seems like the first side of the palette I'm really enjoying, and next video we'll be looking at the second part of the palette. But just, I want to give you a quick little close-up of what the eye makeup actually looks like. I think it looks nice. I'm happy with that. So we'll play more with that over the next few days. Enjoy. It's so warm. Bye. Hey guys, so I have my eyes set but no foundation on because I was afraid of fallout with this particular one. So we are doing look number 2 with the Impulsive palette. So today I'm going in with this side of the palette. So we'll just get straight into it. So the first thing I was thinking I would do is I'm going to take there you are, my domed utility brush when in doubt. So I'm going to take my domed utility, it's the Sigma E34, and I'm going to take this shade here. It's called Crossfaded. It is a really nice kind of a bluey, purpley sort of a look. So I'm just going to dip into that. Put the glasses down. Try and make sure that you guys can actually see what it is that I'm doing. And I'm just going to pat it. Definitely not as pigmented as I think the other side. Struggling to get anything out of that. So I'm just kind of working it in the outer third. I think actually I might use a different brush than the domed utility, just to see if that makes any sort of difference. Not that I think it's the domed utilities thing, but yeah, no, that's the diffuse crease. Actually, no, I'll use that. So I have the diffused crease brush, which is the E38 by Sigma. So I'm going to use that, see does that make any difference, and just tap into the same colour. It's called Crossfaded. So just patting it on. It's very patchy. Very, very patchy. There seems to be a difference in terms of quality between this side and the left-hand side, which is very strange. But then again, I'm only judging this on one colour so far, so maybe I should reserve judgment, but that isn't fantastic. Yeah, the colour payoff is not very good on this side. Like on this side of the palette, I mean. Yeah, it doesn't look fantastic. I'm not very convinced on that. Right, I'm going to get another brush now and go in with a different shade. So, let's see. Yeah, I'll go in with a detail blending brush, so that is the E27. I think I was using that yesterday. So I'm going to go in with the shade Tipsy, which is a blue colour. It seems, well, it looks like it's a bit deeper than the other one, so we'll see. We'll see. This could be a disaster in the making. And the fallout is not great. I'm really struggling with this side of the palette more than the other one. It's very, very softly pressed in the pan, so there's just shadow flying absolutely everywhere. Yeah, very little colour payoff. Now I'm aware it's very messy along here because there's a lot of fallout. But look, I can clean that up with tissue or a makeup wipe or something. So that's that bit done. It's looking very much like I have been punched in the eye. But look, we'll do what we can. I'm going to take the... No, I won't take the paper blending. I'm going to take yeah, the diffused crease. So that is the E38, and I'm going to go in with the shade Shots, which is this sort of iridescent purple. So I'm going to go in with that. Actually, no, what I'll do is I'll take the shading brush. I think that's going to make a lot more sense. Yeah, that's what I'll do. See, it's all very much by the seat of our pants. We don't really know what we're doing. I'm going to take the E70 medium angled shading brush. I'm going to take, I have setting powder here, or not setting powder, setting spray here. Here we go. So I'm going to take some all-nighter. I'm going to spray that, and I'm going to dip it into there. Hopefully we'll get a bit more from that. That's nice. And now for the other eye. Yeah, I like that. I think that looks nice. So what I'm going to do then is I'm going to take what I had originally planned, which was the E38 diffused crease, and I'm going to go in with that colour again. So the same kind of purple. It is called Shots. And just kind of work it into the crease. Kind of blending. When in doubt, blend. Yeah, I have a lot of fallout. Like, I'm going to have to clean all of that. Yeah. Okay, I like that. That's nice. Then I'm going to go in with an E35 taper blending brush back into that deep blue called Tipsy. Just kind of swirl it around. Just kind of have the two kind of colours merging a bit more. Yeah, I think that looks a bit better. And now for the other side. Oh, my nose is itchy. Yeah, that'll do. And then I'm going to take a pencil brush, the E30 I believe it's called. Ha, gotcha. I'm just flinging things everywhere. And I'm going to take the shade, ooh, that is nice. I'm going to take the shade Morning After. It's this nice kind of, well, it looks like it's a burgundy, but we'll see. We will see. There's been a lot of things that have fooled me in this palette. Let's see. I'm just going to put it on the lower lash line. Okay, that's not quite the colour I thought it was going to be. Or orangey. Unless I still had, I probably should have cleaned it off beforehand, but whatever, it's fine. Yeah, that looks okay. And then for the other side, sorry. There we go. And then the very last thing I'm going to do, no makeup tools at all, just going to go in with my finger into that kind of purpley shade we had on our eyes called Shots, and just give it that extra bit of oomph. Yep. And I'm sure there's loads of people going, oh my god, you barbarian, sticking your fingers into your eyeshadow and then onto your eyes. Please, we all do this, let's not pretend we don't. Okay, I know it looks a mess, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean this up off camera because, you know, and then I'm going to put on the rest of my face. Just bear with me, it'll be fine. So I'm back, I've put on the lashes, I cleaned up the under eye, obviously I've put on some foundation, a little bit of bronzer. I used the Morphe Blend the Rules. It actually, I think it's quite nice, you can't to see it that much on camera, but in person it's nice and subtle. I use Colourpop on the cheeks, Benefit the liquid highlighter, and then I of course did my brows, and I have the Dose of Colours Desi collab, I can't remember which one it's called, with an over lip liner, but I think that the eyes turned out okay, all things considered. Of course, once I show it on a laptop camera, it doesn't look as good because the resolution isn't great, but I think it looks okay, all things considered. It was tricky to blend, very tricky to blend, but I'll reserve judgment. I'll wait until I play with it again tomorrow and then we'll have more of an idea. But that's it. That is look number 2 done. Keep watching if you want to see a third look where I'm using the left and the right hand side of the palette. Bye. So now we're going to try look 3 with the Melt Impulsive palette, and I'm going to try and use both sides of the palette. So both this lovely fun green bit and the kind of a bluey side. So I'm just going to get straight into it. I have no idea exactly what it is that I'm going to do with this. So let's see. It's funny because the right hand side has way more shimmers. Like it is, I think it's all shimmers. And then the left hand side is predominantly matte. So that's interesting. Well, I think it's interesting, but that's probably just me being a bit like basic. I'm going to take the diffused crease, so that's the E38. Bear with me because my brushes do still need to be washed. And I'm going to go into the shade Bold, which is a sort of a browny colour. It's a very warm brown, just tapping off the excess. And I'm just gonna put it into the crease. There seems to be a little bit of shimmer in this that I didn't expect. I don't know if you can pick it up, but there's a little bit of shimmer. I thought it was a completely matte colour. I don't mind, I like a bit of shimmer, like that's fine with me, but it could actually also be that this brush needs a clean. So maybe let's not take that as gospel. Yeah, I need to clean my brushes, but it's such a pain. It does blend out nicely. I'm happy with that colour. So I'm just going to do the other eye now. Do these vaguely match? I mean, obviously I still have to kind of blend this out a bit more, but again, a little goes a long way with this. This is very pigmented. It seems to be blending nicely from the little that I can see. So I'm just checking to see if they generally seem to match up. You're probably like, no, Teresa, this is terrible. Yeah, I'm going with very little vision here. So, and I get annoyed taking my glasses on and off again. Look, I am not about perfect looks. I am not that capable for these things. I just want something fun that I can play with. I've cleaned it, by the way, with my Vera Moda, and I say clean in a very liberal sense. I'll put the glasses on so I can actually see what I'm doing, which will make a nice change. What do I want to do now? Because I used a lot of the greens and the yellows the last time, so I'm thinking maybe I should do something a little bit different. No, I don't want the taper blending. I'm going to use my E34 Dumb Utility, which, if you've seen the rest of these, you're probably like, oh my gosh, do you use anything else? No, not really. It's my favourite. I mean, I do use other things, but like this seems to be the one I kind of gravitate towards. So I'm going to take the colour Boss Lady, because like I said, the palette is funny because one side is all mattes and one side is all shimmer. So it's like, even with the last look I did, I really struggled to make something out of it because it was all shimmers. So obviously when you're using a shimmer formula, you treat it differently to a matte. So I'm just taking the colour Boss Lady and just kind of patting it on the outside of my eye. Try this side, and I'm going to try and make sure that you guys can see it, because I always find that with this eye it has poorer vision, so I always have to put like the mirror like this, but I still want you guys to be able to see. If anybody else is watching this and they wear glasses and they have a similar vision to me, I have astigmatism and nearsightedness, I think you will empathise with my issues here. Sisters, they don't have to be twins, but it's important they're from the same, you know, genealogical or family tree. Yeah, it's hard to see it because of the light and I have a crappy setup, but you know, bear with me. I am trying, you know, God loves a trier, etc, etc. I kind of want to go in with the yellow shade again. So I think that's what I'm going to do. So I'm taking the E25 blending brush and I'm going to go into the shade 2012, which is this lovely mustardy yellow, which I did in my first video. And I'm kind of like, oh God, are these all going to look out the same? Because like I said, because one side is matte and one side is shimmer, it's kind of hard to weirdly come up with 3 different looks considering there's 18 shades. You would think you would have no problem, but it's a little bit tricky. So I'm just patting that on. Again, that is going on like a dream. I mean, look at that. The pigment of that yellow. I really enjoy that. Oh, it blends really nicely. That's what I will say about that side of the palette, the left-hand side. It seems to just blend really beautifully. Yeah, so let's just have a look and see how that is going so far. Actually, you'll probably see it a bit better if I take my glasses off, because it looks so patchy on the monitor, but it isn't like that in reality. Again, I'm sorry, it's me with crappy equipment. I am trying, but it is what it is. You know, I have a setting spray here that I can dampen the shimmers with because they seem to perform a little bit better when I do that. Sorry, hair everywhere. So I'm going to go in with the shade Poppin' Bottles, which seems to be a sort of a champagne-y gold. It looks pretty. I don't know if you can see it on the camera. Yeah, there. It's a sort of a champagne-y gold. Now I'm going to spray that. By the way, the brush I'm using is the medium angled shading brush by Sigma, the E70. Spritz, spritz, spritz. When in doubt, spritz. I'm just going to put my glasses on my head like that, so, you know, height of fashion. So let's see what we can do here. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, that goes on nicely. Oh yeah, I like that. So now for the other eye. I like that. Yeah, that's nice. So then what I'm going to do next, and this is a shimmer, and I know technically you use kind of more densely packed brushes that are like flatter, like that medium angled brush. Do you see how it's kind of densely packed? That's what you would usually use for a shimmer, but I am a renegade and I will do what I like. I'm going to use the E35 taper blending brush. You can see it's a bit different. It's a lot more kind of fluffy. So what I want to do is I want to pick up the shade Drunk Text. It's a sort of a brown, and I don't know, there seems to be like another, or it's a brownie black. Okay. Let's see how this goes. And I want to put it onto the outside of my eye. So I'm just patting it on first. And then just swirly, swirly. God, it's so funny. My mirror, my little pocket mirror, it's filthy because there's just like obviously it's picking up like bits of the, I was going to say dust, it's not dust, well I suppose it is, the shadow from these that it's kicking off against that, so I'm getting a little bit of that back. I think that looks quite nice. I don't know what you guys think. You might think it's a travesty, in which case, you know what? Fair enough. You are more than entitled to your opinion. It's wrong, but you're entitled to it. So I'm going to get, what do I want? I want a smaller shading brush. Yeah, there we go. So I've gone for the eye shading brush, the E55. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up, there's this shade, No Regrets. It's on the right hand side. So I'm trying to pick up a lot of colours that I hadn't used before. And just try and use them so I can get a decent idea of the palette and also use it to its best possible use. Words are hard. I'm very sleepy. And I shouldn't be, but I am. But there you go. So I'm just putting it into the inner corner. I again wet it because it kind of comes out a little bit more. And these two kind of blend really nicely together. And I'm just kind of bringing it down ever so slightly. There we go. I think that looks nice. So again, going in with that shade again for the other eye. Yeah, it's hard to tell because obviously bad picture, but I think it looks quite nice. I'll take off the glasses, you can probably see it a bit better without the reflection. It looks a bit patchy on screen, but it isn't in reality, and that is driving me slightly insane that you can't see what I see. So that's that bit, but I want to do something with the lower lash line because I personally feel if I don't have a lower lash line done, it doesn't feel like it's finished. So I'm going to take the E30 pencil brush by Sigma, again, if you haven't figured that out. And so I'm going to take the shade Go Getter, which is this corally shimmer. So we'll see how that performs, because, you know, shimmers going in by themselves. It'll be grand, it'll be fine. So I'm just going to kind of put that under. Ooh, oh, that's fun. Look at that. Hello. Oh, she showed up. She showed up to the party. She is here. Oh, look at you. Hello, new friend. Hello. Oh, that's fun. I like that. Oh, I like that colour. That is really pretty. Yeah. I like that. You're probably like, no, this is awful. What have you done? I don't know what I've done. It's fine. And now for the other eye. Of course, I'll be cleaning all of this up, you know, to kind of make it look a little bit better. I like that though. That's fun. To me, it is fun. Do I want to do anything else? Let me see. Ooh, my hair is going everywhere. Do I want to do anything else? I think I might maybe just want to pick up a little more of that darkery shimmer and just blend everything together. So I'm taking that Drunk Text one again on the E35 tapered blending brush, tapping off the excess rather, not shaking it off. I'm not Taylor Swift. And just tap it onto the lid and then swirl for all that you're worth. There we go. I'm happy with that. So yeah, I've used a good chunk of that. So what I'm going to do now is, there we go. I'm going to finish off the the rest of my face, clean off this, put on lashes, etc. So you can see what it looks like when it's all done. See you in a bit. So I'm back. I've put on the rest of my makeup, foundation, lipstick, etc. And I think it all goes together quite well. I'll give you more of an idea of what the eyes look like now. Take the glasses off. I think they look nice. Of course, you know, they always get a little bit hidden behind the glasses because they give you a bit of a reflection. But I think it's come together quite nicely. So next up, we're going to do some swatches of the Melt Impulsive palette, and then I'm going to give you some final thoughts or sort of a review on the whole thing. So keep watching if that's what you're interested in. So we're going to take some swatches of the Melt Impulsive palette. I'm going to start first by doing some finger swatches, and then I'm going to do some brush swatches on a primed and set base. So we'll start first with just the finger swatches. That's what we're going to do. So we're going to start with a finger swatch. So this is 2012. This is Rule Breaker, and this is Go Getter. I'm going to do one side of the palette at a time because it is a big palette. So this shade here is Dream Big. Yeah, there we go. Dream Big, CEO, and Boss Lady. Boss Lady is tricky to swatch. There we go. Had to double dip, but you guys know I've had to. So this is Game Changer. It's not swatching very well. I'll try again. Game Changer. There we go. Much better. So Game Changer, Profesh, and Goal. So that's quite an arm. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to prime and set the spaces next to these swatches. So I have now primed and set the areas right next to the finger swatches. So what I'm going to do is use the Sigma E55 shading brush to go into each shade on the left hand side of the palette, and between each swatch that I take using the brush, I'm going to clean it off using the Vera Moda. So again, going back into the shade 2012. You can see it performs really nicely there. Rule Breaker. So again, this is all on primed set. So the fact that it's going on like that with a brush is wonderful. I like seeing that. Next one again is Go Getter. So again with the brush. Even though that's a shimmer, that still goes on really nicely. Dream Big. That's a little bit more patchy. CEO. That goes on okay, yeah. Boss Lady, that can be a little bit patchy, so let's see. When primed it goes down pretty okay, but you can see, tricky to blend. It's hard to diffuse it from one part to another. Game Changer, and this is the brush swatch. So tricky. We're going to try the actual shade Profesh. Again, isn't swatching the best. And finally, Bold is the last one. Put it in there. And that swatches quite nicely. I will say though, when I went to remove the swatches from my arm, it took several attempts because it was so pigmented. So now we're going to go in with the right hand side of the palette. So this is, like I said, Makeup Junkie. So that's kind of struggling to turn up. Warehouse Party. That's pretty pigmented. And Poppin' Bottles. That's very faint, but you know, you get a general idea there. So this is Shots. There's not a lot of pigment in that. Tipsy is quite pigmented there with the finger swatch, and Crossfaded. You can see those there. And onto the very last row. So No Regrets, Morning After, and Drunk Text. So they seem quite pigmented when you're using a finger swatch. So we are primed and we are set. So we're going to go in again with the E55 eye shading brush. So going straight into the very first shade, which is Makeup Junkie. You can see it there. It's not quite as pigmented, although it wasn't very pigmented to start off with. Next shade is Warehouse Party. Okay, that's nice, because that is going on pretty much as pigmented. There's definitely some inconsistencies though. Next one is Poppin' Bottles. So we're going to try that one here. Yeah, that isn't coming up as pigmented. Next shade then is Shots. Yeah, that comes off pretty well. Tipsy. So let's see how that goes. That performs pretty well. That's nice. Then we have Crossfaded. That's coming out pretty true to colour. I'd say you'd need to build it up ever so slightly more, but it's pretty decent. And the shades, No Regrets, which I will say, they're starting to get quite crumbly in the pan. Yeah, you can kind of see that it's quite similar there. And we're on to the shade Morning After. That is pretty similar to the finger swatch Drunk Text. It isn't quite as strong or as pigmented, and it's definitely picking up a lot more glitter than the finger swatch. So there's some not inconsistencies, but it doesn't perform quite the same. There's certain ones that you would definitely want to apply with a finger rather than a brush. So now I'm going to talk a little bit about the palette and what I actually thought of it. So I bought this for $65 US. I of course live in Ireland, so I bought it off the Melt Cosmetics site because it said it was exclusive to their site. It wasn't going to come to Beauty Bay. So I paid $65 for that, and because it was coming from the US, I also had to pay about €20 in VAT. So that meant I spent about €80 on this. So that's a lot of money. When you're looking at it, you think, oh my gosh, you know, the colour selection, really, really interesting. I'm particularly drawn to this side here with the greens and the yellows, etc. They perform really, really nicely and are what I have come to expect from Melt Cosmetics. This side does not work quite as well. I had a little bit more trouble with it. And that alone kind of indicates to me that it isn't worth that amount of money. I think if you're spending this amount of money on something like this, A, it should be high quality, and B, it should be consistent. It should be that all of the shimmers perform the same, all of the mattes perform the same. And in saying that, the fact that one side was essentially pretty much all mattes with the exception of like one or two. This is very shimmer heavy, and trying to do a look with just shimmers is tricky. This side has absolutely no mattes at all, so that actually impacts the looks that you can make with that. I like the colours. However, if you have been looking at this and are thinking about potentially purchasing it, what I will say is this side is very, very good. However, it has a lot of the colours that are in the Melt Gemini palette, and that is available, and you can get that on Beauty Bay, etc., so you don't have to pay your duty. This side isn't performing quite as well, but if you wanted to get similar shades, you could get it from the stack collections that they have. They have a blue stack, so you could get some of the colours from this, and they have a kind of a dusty rose, I think it's like a pink stack or baby girl stack or something like that, and you could get some of these looks. It would cost a bit more, but you're getting more product, and most importantly, you're actually going to get a much better consistency and a much better quality. Will I still use this? Absolutely. I have spent money on this. I am not letting this go. I'm going to do stuff with it, and I do like the green side in particular. I could work with that pretty darn well. And again, I think like most makeup users, I'm not fantastic at makeup. I just go in with sheer enthusiasm. So if somebody tries to say to me, oh, you're not using it right, well then I'm sure a lot of people aren't potentially using it right. It wasn't kind of what I would have expected, and I think because of this I would think twice about any more of the Melt Cosmetic eyeshadow palettes that I would be getting in the future. The price doesn't seem to match the general quality. So my recommendation is, unless you absolutely love the colour story and are willing to work with a ton of shimmers, maybe pass on this and look for another colour story. There's loads of fabulous companies that do really, really, really brilliant single eyeshadows, so you could make a dupe of this. You know, Davina Cosmetics, Sydney Grace, Luxie Beauty, that's just to name a few. There are loads more. That would be my recommendation, because then at least you should get a fairly consistent formula. I was sad about that. So thank you guys for, if you've managed to make it this long and listen to me rambling. I hope you have a fabulous day, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.